What is going on, everybody? It is me again. It's HorrorFan34, and welcome to another video. And welcome to another recap video. This is going to be my Monster Mania 47 convention recap that was in Hunt Valley, Maryland. Just went for the one day, like I always do on Friday. This is actually my first time at the Hunt Valley, Maryland con since about 2018, in 3 years. Wow. I have the wristband right here. See, it says Friday on there. And it was a blast. Got to meet some more cool stars. I don't really go out to this one that much because it's a little bit further away from me. But there were some guests there, so I figured I'd go up there and get some people there, things like that. And there were some people there that I really wanted, so and it turned out really, really great. I got some cool pickups. Like I got 2 Blu-rays, actually from the Vinegar Syndrome table, which I'll show those at the very end when I'm done the autographs and celebrities and things like that. But yeah, but this one was a blast. I also got to meet my buddy, K. Jason Link. I'll show a picture of him at the very end when I do this autographs and things like that, and the pickups, things like that. Finally got to meet him in person, which was cool. He had his 2 kids with him, which was cool. Things like that. So let's not waste any more time here. Let's get on to the HorrorCon recap. So when I first walked in, got my wristband, and it's, since I haven't been there in 3 years, it was kind of hard for me to remember like where the main autograph room is at, and I was 1 floor above it, so I had to take the as soon as where the ticket bands were at, there was a set of escalators, and you go down, and that's the main vendor room and the main autograph room. Now the autograph room was a little bit more punier, a little bit more smaller, but the thing is though, because it was cut off, because that's the vendor room and the autograph room is basically one big huge room, but I think they separated the autograph room from the vendor room because it was maybe more smaller crowd of celebrities, because not many celebrities were at this one compared to like Cherry Hill. So it was definitely more of a smaller con, and the vendor rooms were actually a lot bigger than the autograph rooms. It just shows how much of a smaller hotel it is in Maryland. It's a nice looking hotel though. It's very, and I'll tell you, it was beautiful weather out. It was like in the mid 60s tonight, so beautiful weather. Now, enough of me rambling on. Let's get on to the autographs and celebrities. So I got to meet 5 celebrities. I just want to make sure I counted that right. So the first one I'm going to be talking about here is Zach Galligan. Now, everybody knows who Zach Galligan is. If you're a big horror fan, you know him as Billy from Gremlins and Gremlins 2. Or if you know him from, Waxwork, Hatchet 3. But I was getting him on Point Doom, which I've talked about before here on my channel. I think I reviewed the film too. I got him on Point Doom, which I feel like no one ever brings that up to him. And I gave Zach, and actually what I did was for this con too, I had index cards ready for each celebrity that I met with quotes on them, how to, like, they write it to me, the quote that I picked out, then they sign their autograph, and then they put their character name. And all the celebrities that I met really enjoyed all the quotes that I picked out for them, especially Zach Galligan. Because I remember Zach Galligan, when I handed him the Blu-ray, he's like, oh my God, like, he was like in shock that someone brought it up to him. He's like, I never see this at all before. And he's like, I never even knew this had a Blu-ray. And I said, it came out about like a year or 2 ago. He's like, really? Like, most recently? I'm like, yeah, it came out a year or 2 ago. So then Zach Galligan was like going into really cool stories about the behind the scenes, and he was cracking jokes before that though. He was cracking a joke. He was looking at the back and front of the cover, which basically on the front of the cover it has Richard Grieco, Jennifer Odell, and John Enos on the front. And when you flip it over on the back, you have Andrew Dice Clay and Ice-T. So Zach Galligan was cracking jokes. He's like, where's my face at on here? Like, where's my face at? Like, they have Richard Grieco and they have Ice-T and Dice. Like, where's my face at? Where's my pretty face at? So he was making jokes about that. And He was actually he was gushing over when he worked, because he got to work with Angie Everhart on the set of Point Doom, and he was gushing about how cool Angie Everhart was, how Angie Everhart was like the most beautiful redhead he ever saw in his life, and how pretty she was, and saying she was a cool chick, cool on the set. She has a cool taste in music, and just an all around just nice girl. So it was really cool to hear that about Angie Everhart. Really nice to hear Zach Galligan talk nice things about her. That was really nice to hear. Very sweet. Talks about working with Andrew Dice Clay, who he thought was pretty cool to work with. And he was just, it's kind of funny. Like he's like, and I was telling Zach, I'm like, I always tend to bring up like different things that's like that the celebrity's main thing, and they always get a kick out of that. And Zach Galligan definitely got a kick out of me bringing up Point Doom, because he's always used to signing Gremlins and things like that. So I always really like to make celebrities happy like that when I bring up something different. They always seem to really enjoy that. And Zach Galligan told me that he really did enjoy the fact that someone brought up Point Doom to him, because it's never a thing that gets ever brought up to him. And things like that. And I was telling Zach Galligan, I'm like, I actually bought you as a biker. And he's like, I think I proved my point to you that I can play a biker. So he was like smiling about that. I'm like, I was saying to him, like, Billy from Gremlins as a biker, that intrigues me. And I'm like, and you pulled it off. He's like, I think I proved you wrong, didn't I? I'm like, yep, you definitely did. So very cool stories with Zach Galligan, just a really, really nice guy, Zach Galligan. He really enjoyed the quote that I had picked out in the inscription, things like that. So what I'm going to do for all these people is that I'm going to show the picture of the celebrity. Then I'm going to have a picture of the celebrity signing the item, and then the autographed item of the item. So here is a picture with me and Zach Galligan. And here is a picture of Zach Galligan signing my Point Doom Blu-ray. And the actual autographed item of that. Okay, guys, next up here was another one to add to my Friday the 13th box set, and that, of course, is Adrienne King. If all of you know Adrienne King, Alice from the original Friday the 13th, and of course she was in the very beginning of Part 2. Adrienne King, a real sweetheart of a lady, just a really nice person. Talked to her for probably 10 minutes. She was actually the guy that was in front of me. They were talking. She asked him about this like fan film that she did on YouTube. Oh, I forget the name, but I know it has something to do with Jason. And when it was my turn to meet her, as she was signing my item, when she was done it, I asked her, I'm like, what is this like little fan film that you have on YouTube and things like that? So she gave me a little pamphlet of like the title of the movie, where to search for it on YouTube and things like that. She's like, if you're a big Jason fan, then definitely you would certainly enjoy it. So I'm gonna have to check out that fan film at some point that she did. So she gave me a little pamphlet, things like that. She asked me where I was from. I said I was from Philadelphia. She said if I got down to Maryland, okay. And I'm like, yeah, I got down there very good. Just a really, really nice person. Talked to her for 10 minutes just about a lot of stuff, random things, that whatever popped in our head. And it was kind of funny when the quote that I picked out for her. I didn't realize like she had like a Monopoly board behind her when she read the index card. Actually, when I handed her the index card, I told her I already have it made out for me and things like that. She's like, "Oh my gosh! Like, look at you, all prepared with index cards and things like that." So it was pretty funny. So it was kind of funny how she had like Monopoly boards in the back of her. And that's one of her lines in the movie about her hating Monopoly, and that was the quote that I had her sign. So it was a really, really cool moment. So here is my picture with Adrienne King. And here's a picture of Adrian King signing my Jason box set. And her autograph on the item. Okay, guys, moving along here. Next up here that I met was Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins, this is another guy who I've wanted to meet ever since I started doing conventions. If you don't know who Tom Atkins is, this dude is a legend. Halloween 3, the original Fog, Night of the Creeps, Lethal Weapon, Escape from New York, and he had a small role in The New Kids, which is a good movie. Maniac Cop. I mean, just countless and countless amounts of stuff that he was in. The dude's a legend. But I really wanted him on The Fog. And I know that Tom Atkins at his table usually has a really awesome looking 11 by 17 Fog poster, which is all like hand drawn, and whoever like designed like the poster really did a good job. It's actually the cover for it's the alternate cover for the Scream Factory Blu-ray. If it's like not the original poster, but it's actually the Scream Factory poster. And it's a really cool, neat looking poster. Like whoever did the artwork on it and things like that did a great job. So I had to get that for Tom Atkins, which will then lead me into the next autograph. But going on back to Tom Atkins, Tom Atkins is another one. Really stand-up guy, really nice guy, really funny. He was talking in character and saying lines from the movie and things like that. So he was cracking jokes with me. I'm like, I asked him like, how you doing, Tom? He's like, I'm doing good. How about you, Thomas? I'm like, I'm doing good. I'm like, I go by Thomas, but you can call me Tom if you like. And so he hesitated for a moment. He's like, but you want me to sign to Thomas, right, or to Tom? Like, your name's Thomas, right? I'm like, yeah. I'm saying you can write to Thomas, but I'm saying you can call me Tom if you like. So then he started cracking jokes. He's like, no. I'm not gonna. I'll tell you why. So, as he was signing my item, he said he was cracking jokes about, he's like, when his birth name was Tom or Tommy, and then like certain places he would go over like certain things or something like that, like different events, and they would always call him Thomas. He's like, no, it's Tom. And he was like making jokes about that and things like that. And he showed me something on his phone where I think it's like some sort of like a hearing aid that he has on like his iPhone. And he's like, you see that? Look what that little bastard did right there. And he put Thomas's hearing aid. He was making jokes about the guy putting in Thomas instead of Tom. And he was like, look, see what this little bastard did. So he was making jokes about that. He was laughing about that. Tom Atkins is just a legend of a guy. Really cool guy. Really funny, down-to-earth guy. Just a great guy. And he really enjoyed the quote that I picked out for him for The Fog, which was nice. He really enjoyed the index card that I had all made out, things like that. He thought that was really cool. Just a really cool experience with Tom Atkins, just being the presence of a legend like him. So here is my picture with the amazing and awesome Tom Atkins. Oh, and another cool thing about Tom Atkins before I get to the next couple pictures, when it was about ready to take the picture, I had my mask pulled down. He's like, come on. He's like, take that mask off fully. And he's like, come here. And he pulled me in for the picture real close, things like that. He was like smiling and laughing. He's like, come on. He said, get in here. He pulled me in, kind of gave me like a little bit of a bear hug, kind of like when you pose for a picture. And he pulled me in. He's like, take that mask off. And he pulled me in. Just a really awesome guy. But getting back to what I was saying, here's a picture of Tom Atkins signing the Fog 11x17 that I picked off his table. And here is his autograph on the poster. He signed it in blue, and it turned out great. So here's that photo. Okay, so continuing on with